So I talked about how we live in a multiple timeline, and when someone dies, their consciousness transfers to another version of them that lives in another realm. Many of you were arguing. Some who didn't understand were calling me a madman. Some even said I'm on drugs, but I don't blame any of you, because if you were consciously aware enough, you will not argue or call me names but understand. But for now, let me digress a little bit, because I'm coming back for you people. Now, someone said this in the comment section. He said, maybe this is why we experience deja vu, which is correct and aligned, because deja vu is your brain noticing memory residue from another version of you in another timeline after you gain consciousness. Some people will come and say consciousness doesn't have memory, which whenever I see such in the comment section, it makes me speechless, because I keep on wondering, how are they still alive with such low level IQ? Because if you say consciousness doesn't have memory or hold memory, then why do water hold memory? What do water generate? It generates energy, oxygen, which you breathe in every day of your life. That's why when you lose oxygen, you lose consciousness. When you faint and they pour you water, you gain consciousness. Not only that, our body is made up of 70% of water. And what is water? Water is air, and air is water. Because through evaporation, sunlight heats liquid water, causing molecules to rise, and air turns into water through condensation, which occurs when water vapor cools down in the atmosphere, forming clouds and falling as precipitation. And these processes are driven by heat, density change, and cooling. And that's why in your mother's womb, before you will be born, the water in your mom's womb will first of all break, and this process is called rupture of membranes. So with that being said, air that you call oxygen that you breathe in is made up of water, and it is also scientifically proven that water holds memory. And air you breathe in is what gives you consciousness, because without air you lose consciousness. And also air is water, so therefore your consciousness holds memory. That's why sometimes you perceive a smell you were used to when you were a child, but later forgot what that smell smells like as you grow up. But immediately you perceive it, maybe after 10 to 20 years, that smell start bringing memories of your childhood frame by frame. So we living in a multiple timelines is true, and that's why you experience deja vu. Because when multiple realities line up for a split second, your consciousness pick up a trace of experience you never did have in this timeline, but another you did in another realm. So to those who are showing how gullible and naive they are by calling me names, listen, let me tell you something. I know why you all are doing this way is because you are being programmed. And whenever you hear the term programming, many of you don't understand it. When you hear the word programming, it simply means future preparation, and the system and the matrix at large has been using this method to keep the entire population of the world in check. Let me give you an example. Remember, it is said in the last days there will be false prophets, right? That statement alone is what is called future programming, because they were already preparing you to stand against any rebellion or anyone who will question them, and they achieve this by trapping you in fear. That is why the book of Revelation is in existence, because it projects fear. And when you are trapped in fear, you become their army who they have designed through programming to silence what truth or awakening is. They prepared you all for moments like this, so that when people like me start exposing what the system is and how it operates, then you will not be surprised, because they have already programmed you all for this moment. And this is where calling people like me Antichrist comes in. So instead of you panicking, which will bring an end to the system, because where there is panic, there is chaos, and you know what that means. Just like before AI came into existence, they already mentioned it in a whole lot of sci-fi movies. For example, The Matrix. There was a scene where Morpheus was telling Neo about artificial intelligence back then in the 90s. And he told Neo that in the early 2000s, that a new machine will be born and it will be called AI. Not only in The Matrix, even that cartoon show called The Simpsons, they predicted it as well. So when did AI come out? 1st January 2001, just like he predicted, because according to him, at some point in 21st century, all of mankind will unite in celebration. They marveled at their own magnificence as they gave birth to AI. So today, is AI not in existence? And why didn't people panic when AI came out? It's because we have been programmed ahead of the event, so we adapted. Instead of us panicking, we accept it. Let me give you another example. But this example will be censored with a code name. When I say pizza, I mean human being. I repeat, when I say pizza, I mean human being. So now, according to the Epstein file, newborn pizzas are being eaten after being born, because according to them, it tasted like cream cheese. Pregnant pizzas are being made to sit like a turkey with a plate on their private areas as they give birth. And the newborn pizzas are put on a plate directly for the rich to feast on them. And all this is happening, and we are still going to work and doing what we do best, and without any one of those people who are involved going to jail. And how is it like this? Is because we have been programmed not to do anything. Just like I said before, future preparation. And how was it possible? Through the movies. Movies like What You Wish For, Wrong Turn, The Farm, Cannibal Throw, The Green Inferno, and The Cannibal Holocaust. Movies like these are part of the programming, just like you can be programmed through the kind of music you listen to. And they do this to get your mind prepared, so that when such a thing happens in real life, you won't panic. And when that thing happens, you won't do anything. So to all of you who are calling me names, you are doing nothing but defending the system and protecting them, just like they have programmed you to do. So I don't blame you all. Until next time, peace.